We at a 45-degree angle, 5 fingers on the left, 2 on the right. Repeat the Moorish American prayer after myself. The Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe. Father of love,
Truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector,
My guide,
my God,
and my salvation.
and my salvation.
By night, and by day, through his holy prophet, through Ali. Amen.
Amen.
First, I want to rise and give praise to the great God of the universe, Allah, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I want to give high honors to his prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I want to extend those honors to the forerunner of the prophet, Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I want to give honors where honors is due. I want to give honors to all national, local, and state officials. I want to give honors to all past, present, and future leadership of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I want to give honors to our National Grand Sheikh, Brother R. Jones Bey, and his assistant, Brother A. Hopkins Bey. I want to give honors to our Grand Sheikh here at Temple number 34, Brother W. Clendening Bey. I want to give honors to our Assistant Grand Sheikh here at Temple, Sister Cecile Zill. I want to give honors to all officials of Temple number 34, or sheiks, sheikesses, members, and guests. I want to give honors to man, because when man honors man, he honors his father, God Allah. I want to take a reading from the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution, Salvation, Our God, Unity. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday, the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday, the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his father, God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and a partial of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. All members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine, that they may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slave holders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Noble Drew Ali, the founder, Moorish American prayer, Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. The Moorish Science Temple of America Home Office. I'd like to turn your attention now to the great meeting is on. Come on, questions for Moorish Americans. Noble Drew Ali, founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Page 7, questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 1, Grand Sheiks and governors and heads of all property. And saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. As I have the power invested in my hands, and I have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, peace. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire, and let every member exercise his 5 senses who are able to do so, because out of your Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure in love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Now I would like to take a read. I'd like to take a read from the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Circle 7, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guiding of his father, God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father, God Allah. I'd like to take a read from chapter 4, found on page 8, Death and Burial of Elizabeth, Matheno's Lessons, the Ministry of Death. When John was 12 years old, his mother died, and neighbors laid her body in a tomb among her kindred in the Hebron burial ground and near to Zachariah's tomb. And John was deeply grieved. He wept. Matheno said, "It is not well to weep because of death. Death is no enemy of man. It is a friend who, when the work of life is done, just cuts the cords that binds the human boat to earth, that it may sail on smoother seas. No language can describe a mother's work, and yours was tried and true. But she was not called hence until her tasks were done. The calls of death are always for the best, for we are solving problems there as well as here, and no one is sure to find and one is sure to find himself where he can solve his problems best. It is selfishness that makes one wish to call again to earth the departed souls. Then let your mother rest in peace. Just let her noble life be strength and inspiration unto you. A crisis in your life has come, and you must have a clear conception of the work that you are called to do. The sages of the ages call you harbinger. The prophets look to you and say, he is Elijah, come again. Your mission is that of a harbinger. For you will go before the Messiah's face to pave the way and make the people ready to receive their king. This readiness is purity of heart, but none but the pure heart can recognize the king. To teach men to be pure in heart, you must yourself be pure in heart and word and deed. In infancy, the vow for you was made, and you became a Nazarite. The razor shall not touch your face, nor your head, and you shall not taste wine or fiery drinks. Men need a pattern for their lives. They love to follow, not to lead. The man who stands upon the corners of the path and points the way but does not go is just a pointer, and a block of wood can do the same. The teacher treads the way. On every span of ground, he leaves his footprints clearly cut, which all can see and be assured that he, their master, went that way. Men comprehend the inner life by what they see and do. They come to Allah through ceremonies and forms. And so, when they would make men know that sins are washed away by purity and life, a right symbolic may be introduced. In water, wash the bodies of the people who would turn away from sin and strive for purity and life. This rite of cleansing is the preparation rite, and they who thus are cleansed comprise the temple of purity. And you shall say, you men of Israel, hear, reform and wash, become the sons of purity, and you shall be forgiven. This rite of cleansing and this temple are but symbolic of the soul, which does not come with outward show, but is the temple within. Now, you will never point the way and tell the multitude to do what you have never done. but you must go before and show the way. You are to teach that men must wash. So you must lead the way. Your body must be washed, symbolic of the cleansing of the soul. John said, why need I wait? May I not go at once and wash? Matheno said, 'tis well. And they went down to the Jordan ford and east of Jericho, just where the host of Israel crossed when they first entered Canaan. They tarried for a time. Matheno taught the harbinger, and he explained to him the inner meaning of the cleansing rite, and how to wash himself and how to wash the multitude. And in the river Jordan, John was washed. Then they returned unto the wilderness. Now in Jetty's hill, Matheno's work was done, and he and John went down to Egypt. They rested until they reached the temple of Saqqara in the valley of the Nile. For many years, Matheno was a master in this temple of the brotherhood. And when he told about the life of John and his mission to the sons of men, the Hierophant with joy received the harbinger, and he was called the brother Nazarite. For 18 years, John lived and wrought within these temples' gates. And here he conquered self, became a mastermind, and learned the duties of a harbinger. With that, I'd like to say peace, and I'm going to turn the meeting back over to our Sunday school instructor, our AGS, Sister C. Silzil.
Peace.
We're marching
into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. And we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. Now if you wanna know where we're bound, that beautiful city of love, into the holy city, Moabites be found. That beautiful city of love.
Now
We're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. Now we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love.
Islam.
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 Well, praise Allah and honors to our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and everything pertaining to Islam. I see we have more online. I'm just gonna ask for everybody to do a quick unmute. Islam.
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 All right, Islam. Come on, don't mute back. Keep it unmute.
Islam.
There we go. Praise Allah. Brother Coleman, there you go. Brother Wise Cyrus, still if you're available. I know the background, you might want to respect the background noise. Brother Miles Bay, if you can, Islam. All right, Morris, we're gonna give praise and honors together in unison. We're gonna be led by our sister E. Jones Bay. Islam.
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 Praise the Lord, rise and give praise to Allah. We
Rise.
rise to Allah. For this different seat. Give honors to our holy illustrious prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Give honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew
Give
Ali.
honor to our holy and illustrious prophet, Drew Ali.
Give honors to all true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, etc.
Give honors to all Allah's.
So we give honors to everything that the open chair may give honors to. Give honors to every last one of you. We give honors to man because your man gives honors to man, give honors to Allah. We give honors to everything to pay for the song. Peace. I want to thank our sister because we want to keep a certain pattern where the Moors also can give honor. So as you're speaking, it can save some time when you get called on at the beginning, so no one feels the need to have to repeat the praise and honors. And it's also, you're recorded too, so you know your record is kept even in man's book. Islam, Brother I. Smithhill, you'll lead the Moors in the temple in prayer. I mean, in praise and honors. Excuse me. Islam, everyone rise.
Islam.
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 We rise and give praise to Allah.
We rise and give praise to Allah.
Father of the universe.
the Father of the universe.
We give honors to his prophet,
We give honors to his prophet,
Prophet Noble Drew Ali,
Prophet Noble Drew Ali,
the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
We give honors to the forerunner,
We give honors to the forerunner,
Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Brother Marcus Messiah God.
We give honors to all the prophets of Allah,
We give honors to all of the prophets of Allah,
Jesus,
Jesus,
Muhammad,
Muhammad,
Buddha,
Buddha,
and Confucius.
and Confucius.
We give honors to everything that the prophet brought
We give honors to everything that the prophet has brought
for the uplifting of fallen humanity.
for the uplifting of fallen humanity.
Peace.
Hey, I want to thank you both for leading the Moors in prayers and honors, which is a very important part of this opening. And before you even speak at any temple meeting, whatever temple you may go to, you may hear a shorter version, Islam, praise Allah, honors to the prophet, honors to everything pertaining to Islam, peace, and continue with your thought from there. But usually you don't say peace, you go honors everything pertaining to Islam and continue. Peace is usually the last thing you would say before you complete your sentence and go on again, if that makes any sense.
So,
All right, so today, our Grand Chief, as you can see, he's here on Zoom. He's here with us. He's here with us. I told him, I think it was kind of time he took the day off. He's been running, holding it down back to back. And I think our brother could afford to just chill out from that long ride all the way from out where Maryland is. I couldn't pull it off, you know. I'm a 1.5 hour driver, okay? New York traffic gets me a little intense. But the thought with that is we're going to still continue with the topics that we've been talking about, but as the Moors may have been aware of from the conference call and some of the discussions, we planned on getting to like more of a concept of civics, right? Getting everything related to law going. Brother Kuzinade has appointed Sister Jordan Ill and Brother K. Turnaby as those that were kind of picking that up. And so one of the thoughts that were had is that we would kind of just cover some of the basics, right? Do a little, not an introduction from here. They'll cover some of the things that, you know, may be interesting to the Moors. With that, I wanted to turn your attention as our brother R. Jordan Ill did a wonderful opening for us. We're going to turn back over to divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter number 4, Death and Burial of Elizabeth, Medina's Lessons, the Ministry of Death. Any and everybody is liable to be called on. I will be coming and calling, okay? So I just want to let everybody know, if you have your Moorish literature, keep it on hand. And especially if you have beautiful, youthful faces, you know what I mean? Because, you know, Sunday school, you know, the youth, you know, they're the guiders of the nation. Praise be to Allah, right? And so, but we also know that the adults, the parents, the brothers, the sisters, the aunts, the uncles, the grandparents, you have a role to help teach these particular things, you know, with respect to the fact that there is the spirit of a man within them, right? Praise Allah. So, I'm on page 9, instruction number 31. Sister T. King Bay, can I call on you? Amazing.
Islam,
She doesn't want to read it.
Islam,
Islam. Yes, Holy Quran, page number 9. Our sister gonna read for us. Praise Allah.
Islam.
Islam, Sister J. Jordan.
Can you all see it on the screen?
Islam, yes.
Okay, praise Allah.
Here I go. I know that they may not be able to hear you, so I'm not trying to do the most. You know, I just wanna make sure that you can be heard. Okay. Or if you want to stand here, wherever you want to do, I don't want to put too much pressure on you. I'm just happy y'all coming up and helping out.
For 18 years, John lived and wrought within these temple gates. And here he became a master mind, and learn the beauty of the argument.
Praise Allah. Now, can I ask you, right, when you think about 18 years, what are some of the things that come to mind when you just hear 18 years? Some, like you live some 18 years, what do you think of?
Really long.
Right, I hear you. No, right. Now, I want the boys to know. Now, for the 75-year-olds, right, or the 80-year-olds, they're like, oh, 18 years, that was just like the other day. But I just want you to hear the perspectives, right, to be able to balance the respects on the views and the way that we're going to be able to unfold in our different places, stations, and times. Because a lot of respect, not the places and stations of men, but we are in these places and stations to learn things. And so I just hope that we're able to just receive from that. I thank you. And one last thing. Now it says he lived and wrought within these temple gates. So what do you think about being inside of a temple gate for 18 years? When you hear that kind of a sentence, what comes to mind? Anything. There's no right or wrong answer, because these are just your thoughts. But even if just in the temple, so like think about being in the temple for 18 years. What do you think of? Like what do you think is even happening? Just say you're in the temple for 18 years.
A lot of learning.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I think the Moors can agree with that. The Moors agree that if you're in the temple for 18 years, you're doing a lot of learning.
Son.
That's praise Allah. I want to thank you, dear sister. Thank you so much. So the thought in that is that as we're in the temple, there's supposed to be a lot of learning happening and a lot of studying. And with that, our prophet was teaching us things about ourselves, right? Nationality, right? And then he taught about the connection to nationality. At this point, Moors, if you have your Moorish literature.
So where we at now?
Islam, brother Arnaido, is that you, dear brother?
Yeah, I'm Islam, sister.
Islam, we're in the Moorish literature, but we're also yes.
You said page 9. You read the bottom part of
The
that.
Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So page 9 is what we were on in the Holy Quran. Instruction
I was
30.
talking about John and the 18 years, about the cycle ages we go through within them 18 years.
Islam, I'm gonna come to you. Don't worry. I just want to make sure you got your literature out, because when I call on you, I'm ready. All right.
I have the Morris literature in my hand. I was really looking for my
All right.
glasses.
So give me a minute so I can call on you, but I wasn't ready for you just yet. But I'm happy to know that
Okay,
you're
but
here.
I'm just glad you can hear me and I can hear you. Praise
That's
Allah
right.
for that.
Hey, put your fez on. I see you there, brother. Praise Allah.
Let me just find my glasses. That's what I'm to keep up with you. Okay, we in position now.
All right. So just really quickly, and on page number 7 is where we're going to be. So I just want you to have these places marked open, okay? So prophet makes plea to the nation. That's on page 7. Inside of the Moorish literature. So I'm going to read something here from the Moorish Science Temple of America, Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government. Because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and partial of the government and must live the life accordingly. Now, as we continue, right, 4 to 5, right? So this is like one piece of literature, Divine Constitution and Bylaws, right? And so if you look at an article, you look at something and you read it, you kind of understand that the flow of it has like almost transition sentences, or they kind of run in concurrent with one another, if that makes any sense, right?
Mhm.
So now Act 5, right? It says this organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Now, this is where Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and partial of this said government. And know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779. So now it's telling you about the government before you even get into times and dates. Because before you get into the dates and the times to be able to get into passions, because we gotta have a conference. Prophet knows the most, right? He knows who the Asiatic brothers and sisters, and he knows that we make it in our passion, and that they may not always be within the bounds of righteousness, right? So he expressed to us in a clear fashion, right? He set the tone with Act 1, letting you know, okay, there's an order. Okay, there's an order as far as how things are ran. And then he goes into number 2, be here on time, let's be present. I know we've made jokes, but I know my family before I joined the temple, we used to do CP time, right? Color people time. That's what it ended up translating to, because you're always late, 30 minutes late. They used to make jokes, you're gonna be late to your own wedding, you're gonna be late to your own funeral. We're not colored, we're not Negroes, we're not African Americans or Ethiopians, so we need to throw back all of the things that come with those labels. We may not recognize the severity as to which it affects us in our day-to-day lives, but these are things that the prophets bring into our attention to tell you how to remedy yourself with the conditions that we're living in. Be on time. Sister Sills, not on time. Be on time. Now continued, right? And then it tells you about, after it tells you about who's in charge, what your accountability is with regard to time so that you can catch the flow of everything. It then speaks to principles of action.
Tom, you have a hand from Kanshi?
It's on Gracie. Just 1 second. I'm gonna call on you. I see your hand. So it tells you those principles of action. The concept of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be not only stated by us, but practiced. And then it starts to get into the heaviest stuff. All right, now you gotta remember, this is what happened. You're not meant to cause any problems now, because once you get the rest of this information, I don't want anybody getting too worked up. Okay? Because this is some deep, heavy information, but love is the only savior of the world. So there's an unfolding of this as seen through my eyes when reading. And now it tells you what the organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not for. And it tells you that we respect the government, right? And then as it continues, we have a part that says said government, but because in Act 5 already said this government, said government in Act 6 would be connecting it grammatically as to the one that was aforementioned. Not a matter of supposing, right? It's speaking in the form of our language with the connection in what the prophet is. And so I thought that was something that was important to point out, because as we start to do anything related to law, there's a lot of differences. I'm going to yield right there. Islam, Brother Grand Sheik. I just said, ask a meet request.
It's on.
Islam.
Praise Allah is already given. I was just thinking about when you were talking about the political background to what was going on. And what I mean by that is that Marcus Garvey had been arrested. He had been put in jail. The organization was on a decline. They had labeled, I think it was, they had a movie about it was Edgar Hoover or something like that. But they had trying to infiltrate these various organizations and then label Marcus Garvey a Negro agitator. So that's a little bit of background. So when you hear what you hear in the Divine Constitution and Bylaws, when the prophet makes a proclamation about not flashing your nationality cards, you have to understand where the prophet says he had to get around his elbow to get to his thumb. So by him incorporating and using the American Constitution to set up the organization, he has to put certain things out there, kind of almost like disclaimers, like Act 4 and additional laws, that we don't speak radical against the church or the flag or any organized group. So this way, it's kind of protection for the organization and letting our members as well as the public know we're about trying to do things in a righteous way. It's not going to stop us from bringing the truth. It's not going to stop us from bringing the truth that we don't want to marry or amalgamate into the families of the pale-skinned nations of Europe. It's not going to take away from the fact we want to give back the church and Christianity that was prepared by their forefathers while we're returning to Islam. But we do it in such a way where we're law abiders and we have tolerance and obedience to different principles, such as the government itself. Peace.
Hey, and thank you, Grand Sheik, for also bringing that part in, right? So as he was speaking to, these lessons are for the uplift and the soul of humanity. Still, the public needed to know, as he just spoke about the climate, the political climate outside the part of the I guess that's Chicago and just even the world at that particular point in time, where the laws were. Think about the ramifications of the Christian Black Code, right? Think about the ramifications of the civil rights and civil rights movement. Now think about the civil rights movement, Christian Black Code, and think about during the time where there was chattel slavery. Just think about those different events that may have occurred during that time. And so for the prophet to put together a communicational style, right? It was important not to just reflect, as Brother Khalil was saying, not just talking to the Moors like no one had self-control. No, that wasn't what it was. He was also speaking to the government so that the government was put on notice and it was written down in a format that anyone who was within power and government could see that we had principles of action and that we governed ourselves accordingly. And so I know that there were things such as, even now, they have certain laws. If you gather in a certain amount of people in a group and it appears to be unpeaceful, and it could be considered gang activity, disturbances of the peace. But you go in and you file and you communicate certain things, you're able to utilize a select section of area to do what you want it to do peacefully. And now there are different things within the aspects of the law that I'm not going to stand here and profess. I'm not a lawyer. Hold on, let me just, this is one of my disclaimers, right? Islam Moorish Americans, Islam, those who may just be seekers after truth or viewing. I am not a lawyer, nor do I offer legal advice. No, because sometimes, we know that the prophet has brought us law, right? But the only advice that I would legally be able to say to anyone is what the prophet said about, if you would ask me what to study, I would say yourselves. When you all study that and would ask me what to study, then you would reply yourselves. But outside of that, just the concept of being a better citizen. What is he telling us? What is he showing us? Because it's not like he doesn't know what's going on or the condition of people. But he's also asking us, who said Islam? I see Islam, but no hands, Norris. I didn't know if, but sorry, Islam, Rishi, but that concept of the connection and what he's making to us through our literature, but not just through our literature, through our climate and what we're dealing with. He's reaching out to us in a certain fashion, addressing us in a certain form. So it's almost like when a baby's born, right? Sister, I got a good question for you, and I know you know this because you help with Michaela all the time. And when she was a baby, you were able to handle it. So I just want to ask you a question. Islam, can I ask you a question? It's real simple. So when babies are little, right? Can you cook them a vegan Philly cheesesteak? No? You said no? Why not? What do they need? Baby food. All right, that's all. I guess that sounds very reasonable. I guess so. So I can't. But vegan Philly cheesesteaks can be very healthy. They're vegetable based. No, they can't have it. No, she gave me the side eye. If you saw the side eye more, she's like, "What are you talking about? You know, babies can't eat those kinds of things." Exactly the same thing in the concept of us. Thank you, dear sister. When the prophet is bringing us this information and how he sets it up, even how he opens up the meeting, he does things. He talks about according to law, right? Because there's a way in which people receive information. So when you enter into this world, you come in as a baby. And as you enter as a baby, there's a certain diet that you need. Doesn't matter if spinach is healthy. We can't give it to you right now. You know what I'm saying? We can't even fill you up on lots of water because at this moment you need milk, which has a heavier substance for you on your entry. And then you can start adding some of the water into the diet, but it has to be given. So when the prophet comes to us and speaks to us in this manner within the law, right? He's trying to prepare us to be able to take our place in the affairs of men appropriately and respectfully. So he says, Islam. I see a few more battle. I see Brother Salam Ubay, Brother Saran Ubay, Brother Coleman is up here with us. Brother Davis, I see my sister Jay Jordan, El Islam, Brother Miles Bay, Brother Brockenberry Bay, Brother Kid Bay, Sister Bass Bay, Brother Cyrus Hill, iPhone, parenthesis number 5. I feel the 5, 5 principles. We just talking about that once. Praise Allah. All right. And I see Brother W. Clinton Bay, of course. Now the thought with relation to conduct, character, right? Citizen, Islam, Sister E. Jones Bay. When the Moors talk about citizenship, you know what I'm saying? What do they recognize citizen as? Like a basic definition of a citizen. Oh, let's get, hold on, we gotta shine a light on them. You know how the Moors do it,
The citizenship is your relationship with the government.
All right, and now if you had to give us the definition of what that was, like the definition of citizen, right? So somebody pulls it up. Come on, Moors. Don't sit there and stare at the screen now either. I want the Moors to raise their hands, jump in. If the sister is there and she's about to whip out a definition, I want the Moors there with support. Praise Allah. Islam. Brother R. Jordan Neal.
Islam.
Islam.
A basic definition of citizen to me would be any person born within the confines of the United States or naturalized in the confines within the United States.
All right now, all right. Our sister's ready. You see what I'm talking about? That's right, hand ready. Okay, right hand's on it.
Legally recognized subject or national or state or commonwealth, either native or naturalized, inhabitant of a particular town or city.
Thank you so very much. So you see what the examples were? You know why I did that, right? So you can see the examples, right? Those who may not feel comfortable, she has a definition, she knows the definition, she understands exactly what it means. Now, when it came to speaking to the Moors, one has you, this is why I said you gotta love your temple, your community. One is right here, boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna get it for you right now. Swipe. All right, we ready? And then, but just hear what I'm saying. And then you have one of your brothers that's like right here. He's like, you know what? We read this just the other week. Here it goes. This is the part. Now, Islam, I'm gonna call on brother El Serrano Bay. Thank you, dear sister. Thank you, dear brother.
Islam.
Islam, give quick praise and honors. And
Praise.
just give us the definition of citizen as you understand it.
Praise Allah. First I rise and I give all praise to the great God Allah. I give honor to his holy and divine prophet, Prophet Nabi Ali, and I give honor to everything that pertains to Islam, everything that our acting Sunday school instructor gave honors to, and the opening chairman. So I have here online etymology dictionary.com, and it says citizen, inhabitants of a city or town, from Anglo-French citizen, a city dweller, town dweller, citizen, Old French, citoyen, citoyen, which is modern French from site, see, city. According to Middle English, bonium, Anglo-French, presumably replaced an early th Old English word from birth setting and ceased to wear. It says sense of freeman or inhabitant of a country, member of the state or nation, not an alien, is late 14th century, meaning it says as titles.
You said not an alien, right? Not an alien?
Not an alien. Peace.
Okay. UFOs, extraterrestrials, etc. I made a joke, but I just want them to hear the concept of the connection, right? They call them any unidentified flying object. You hear we saw UFO sighting, instantly think some type of space aliens is going down, right? I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying anything against these things. What I'm speaking about though is what comes to mind, but the technicality of the language. All it means is it was something that was flying that was unidentified. That's exactly what it means. But our thoughts, right? Thoughts, a little bit of cable, YouTube, internet,
Right.
combined with a couple of conversations, can have us thinking very differently than what was plainly stated. And so that concept of studying yourself is very, very important. I saw Brother Kid Bay and then I saw Brother Coleman here. And saw Brother Kid Bay. And thank you, Brother Serrano, for going into the etymological definition as it brings the root and its and the origin of the word, and also the different places as to where the origin somewhat changed. So that also gives you a connection as to where the original people traveled to. Looking it up etymologically, and then it translated from this to circa century that, then you understand some of the places that they touched down. All right, and so I just want to thank you for that and for also for the demonstration. That's Brother Kimbe, Islam there, brother. That's right. I see. That's roses and the fez. That's what I'm talking about. All right now. Praise Allah. Islam.
I just wanted to, first I rise to give praise to the great God Allah, honors to his holy prophet Noble Drew Ali, who came to redeem us from our sinful ways. I want to give honors to the divine principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I want to give honors to all faithful Moorish Americans, Islam.
Islam.
I had a definition from law.cornell.edu actually, and it was pretty interesting. I thought
Uh-oh.
of
Hold on,
citizens.
wait, say it again one more time there, brother. Where'd you get the definition from?
It was from the Cornell website, law.cornell.edu.
All right, so now we're getting a legal definition, right, more? So we hear all these different kinds of definitions. We get Oxford, which is basic English translation, transliterations. Then you have the etymological dictionary now, which goes back into just the root of the word. And now our brother just said that he was at cornell.edu law library. So now this is the law background version of a library. So now these are three, already just heard about 3 different types of dictionaries just within this basic conversation, all introduced by your fellow brothers and sisters, and they did not have to be standing behind a podium to get this information. They did not have to be standing there like, yeah, I'm the chairman, I'm the assistant grand chief. No, all it took was being able to utilize what? Wherefore is consciousness reposed unto thee alone, right? Praise Allah. Thank you, dear brother. Continue.
Islam. It says that a citizen is a person who by place of birth, nationality of one or both parents, or naturalization is granted full rights and responsibilities as a member of a nation or political community. Islam.
Islam. He said full rights and responsibilities. I hope we heard that particular part too. Part of our rights and responsibilities, R&R, right? Not rest and relaxation.
Right.
Rights and responsibilities. You know, you might hear us say, I need a little R&R. Rights and responsibility is gonna be my new takeaway from that. Islam. Brother J. Coleman Ill. Islam there, brother. Hold on.
May need to go
Hold
to the
on,
speaker
please
again.
check the mic more. Islam. I can hear, we can kind of hear you. We might have to pump the volume on this end too. Say it again.
Islam.
All right, I heard you say Islam. We just gonna try.
Islam. Father, give praise to Allah, not to the prophet of Ali. Islam. You think about citizenship, it's like a possession of the rights and privileges of citizens, the quality of a person, response, membership in a community. Islam.
Islam. Thank you, dear brother. I heard the rights of something with citizen. I definitely heard your praise and honors very clear. So I didn't hear the rest, but praise Allah and honor to the prophet, he was able to give honors. Now, just with that part, right? Brother Skipper Bay, Islam Sheikh. Can I ask you a question there, brother?
Yes.
Can I just, take a flight? No passport, I got a private jet. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a private jet. Just be clear, disclaimer, I don't have a private jet, nor will I be breaking any international laws. Right? Local nor international. All right. Now with that, I just hop in my jet. I'm fueled up. Got a pilot in the front, got my suitcase, got my luggage, got all my different turbans with me. I'm ready. I'm gonna head over to pick a place.
New Zealand.
All right. NZ. I'm heading over to New Zealand, Moors. I'm gonna stay there for like 8 years, and I'm a citizen now. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go vote. I want to go. You know what I mean? I want all their benefits. I'm going down to their, Social Security equivalent office. I want some cash money. No, you think they'd be cool with that, brother Skipper Bay? That's fine.
You would, to be entitled to the benefits in New Zealand, you would have to be a citizen
Wait, what?
in New Zealand.
So I got, hold on. So just the fact that I'm a citizen of the USA already. So you mean I can't just go hop on them? I got my jet. It's fueled up. And I landed in New Zealand. That's not enough. What I gotta do? what do you have to do when when you become a citizen? What's the process before? Like, what is that process? What connects you to being a citizen?
Nationalized.
Oh, man, here we go again. You mean nationality again?
Yeah. I just wanna, say something pertaining to citizens.
There, brother, please do. That's fine. I want to make sure the Moors can hear you though. If you don't mind there, brother, skip a day.
All right, now, I'm gonna.
Can the Moors hear brother skip a day?
Yeah.
From in the front on Zoom, Islam?
Islam, not too much.
All right, you ain't gotta do too much. I'm gonna just put the mic right here, maybe I just speak a little bit louder. It'll maybe amplify.
Okay, on page
Is that
7,
better?
Morris Literature, page 7.
Can the Moors hear our brother?
Islam.
It says on the bottom paragraph, and I, the prophet, do hereby believe that this administration of the government being more widely prepared by more genius citizens that believe in their free national constitution and laws, and through the help of such classes of citizens. Now, we're talking about classes of citizens because this particular class of citizens who really truly believe in their free national constitution and laws that were set up by them, right? These citizens are geniuses, genuine citizens. And
So brother,
they
it's fine, brother,
operate
I see a
under
couple of
principles.
faces. I'm not gonna cut you. So the Moors are following. On page 7, not under the prophet makes a plea to the nation. It's right above that.
Right above that.
And it's on the left-hand column at the bottom.
Yes.
Last paragraph on the left-hand side of the column.
Classes of citizens. I, the prophet, truly believe that my people will find the true and divine way of their forefathers and learn to stop serving cardinal customs and merely ideas of man that have been never done them any good, but just always harm them. And I put with that, and I read that because of the fact that these genius citizens, it seems like, dinosaurs go out and, die out of extinct, And we don't have too many genius citizens as we had back then, in those days, or to what the prophet is referring to.
That's right.
And he already has protected us from such classes of citizens that are not living up to the standards of these constitution, of the Constitution of the Free National Government. Those that are not living up to the standards of the free Constitution of the national government, we have already been protected by them. That's why we can be in here teaching without being molestation, without molestation, and also the laws that they set up today may be contrary to the laws that are pertaining to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. This is why we're part and parcel, but there's certain things that could be against our divine constitution and bylaws. But that's why we're part and parcel. So we have to understand to be a little discriminating.
Discerning.
Discerning, or better word, discerning to what they put out before us. There's a lot of things that are going, being instituted by this government now that we don't have to be a part of.
Right, and I definitely agree with you. The prophet instructed us with the Constitution.
Right.
Constitutional law.
We are not to amalgamate and to marry into the families of filthy nations, and you don't need the government, neither
Serve the gods of their religion.
Their religion, but the amalgamation part has a lot to do with laws too and everything
Exactly.
as well, so we have to be, discriminating not, I would say.
Discerning.
discerning
Mhm.
and what the laws are pertaining to.
That's right, your discernment and discretion. I definitely understand exactly what you're speaking to. So now that goes back into that moral compass. P, I appreciate you for that. I see your hand, but El Sereno Bay also, that moral compass. Now, when we look at the law, right, I like to. Prophet also said the Europeans helped me, why not you, right? So I definitely know that when he was speaking about certain things, that he wasn't a racist. So a lot of people paint the prophet in a certain light. He had race pride. There's a difference in race pride and racism. Right? There's a difference in not wanting roaches in your house and, you know, wanting them extinct from the earth. You know what I'm saying? There's a fine line. I'm just saying, there's a fine line and where we are along the way, right? There's a fine line in the genius citizen, and there's a fine line in a not so genius citizen. You know what I'm saying? And so when I look at these things, and I look at what the prophet was speaking about, he said, if you have race pride and love your race, said nothing about racism, but he's teaching us the importance of holding on to our own culture and refining it before we continue to just dilute ourselves. And what I mean by dilute ourselves, when we're trying to come back to the truth, and we keep adding admixtures of things that may need to be discerned, and he brought us everything it took to save the nation, he's telling you to kind of focus in. Focus in, learn of your own ancient fathers, foremothers, divine and national creed, and this is the way that you're going to be able to redeem yourself from this condition in these states. So it's like almost like a, let's just say a dosaging, right? So would you, let's find there, brother. What's your name? Yeah, yes, man. All right, Joshua, we've seen you here before, so that's why I called on you, right? So let me just ask you really quickly. Talking about just like handing things out, giving out proper portion, similar to what I was asking Sister A King Day. So I'm sorry, he's not King Day?
No, she's Jones.
A Jones Bay. My mama was Folk Jones. I should have, should have been big hit or anyway. So that concept. So Sister A Jones Bay, right? Asked a similar question. If you were giving out, let's just say someone had a headache, right? About 25 years old, maybe about 6 feet, 215 pounds. And you have 3 options: baby Motrin, toddler's Motrin, adult Motrin. So, which one would you give if they asked you? And this would be just someone that you're related to, that you had in your home, in your space when you were around. Let's just say a relative that's that age. And they needed something, they got a headache. Which one are you gonna give them? 20, 25. So you think, so with the toddler person?
It might not be.
Right, so you think it might not be as effective. I could agree with that. The boys would agree with that? Yeah, I agree that if you give an adult some baby medication. She's like, they might need the whole bottle, but we don't know the side effects of the whole bottle for the adult, right? So that the
Some of the systems we have vitamins, not gender specifications.
right, so the body and the way that the body's made up and the different bone densities and how we may replenish and so now, so it's perfect. Thank you so much. So Joshua? All right, thank you there, Brother Joshua. So the thought in that goes right back again. Remedies and dosage amounts. How are you handing them out? You give a baby that one adult Motrin, you cause a situation. But you give that adult the baby stuff and you don't affect the headache. All you did was give them a nice little berry flavor. You get what I'm saying? It's I know, Brother El Sereno Bay, did I call him already?
Yeah, Brother El Sereno Bay.
I'm sorry.
hand up for a while.
Islam.
Islam, praise Allah. Sister, you're doing a wonderful job, by the way, conducting the Sunday school. I was listening, just came up with the brother who spoke before me, and I was thinking about the editorial, the divine warning by the prophet for the nation. And which paragraph is that? 1, 2, 3. 4th paragraph, page 6. And it says, I love my people and I desire their unity and mind back to their own free national and divine standard. because day by day they have been violating the national and constitutional laws of their government by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. And so when we think about the English language or we think about context, right? Who is the prophet talking about that is violating the Constitution? He says, I love my people, right? And I desire their unity and mine back to their own free national and divine standard. Because day by day, they have been violating the national and constitutional laws of their government by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. If Indians, Creeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. In all other governments, when a man is born and raised there and asks for his national descent name, and if he fails to give it, he is misused, imprisoned, or exiled. Any group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards of law by name and principles, because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name, because they place their trust upon issue and names formed by their forefathers. And I just want to skip, if I may, just skip over to the last paragraph of this said article.
And that was the Camel Walker, Brother Skipper Bay, and Brother Joshua.
Yes. This is on page 7, last paragraph. It says,
Yeah.
so I, the prophet, am hereby calling aloud with a divine plea to all true American citizens to help me to remove the great sin which has been committed and being practiced by my people in the United States of America. So when we're thinking about, when the prophet talks about these ingenious citizens, and he's talking about all of these citizens, right? These rights, it's not specifically related to Moorish Americans. No, the prophet says that we are violating the constitutional law by not proclaiming our nationality, which is a requirement for all citizens born in the United States of America or naturalized, even in the United States of America. So I just wanted to point that out. I leave the Moors in peace.
Peace. Praise Allah for bringing that connection around, because that tied just right back into that same question with Brother Skipper Bay and how he was explaining I couldn't just go and run to New Zealand because I got a jet. You know what I'm saying? He was sitting here talking about nationality and proclamation of it. And so I appreciate the connection, utilizing, as Brother Skipper Bay did, the Moorish literature and the prophet's communication. I say the prophet's words because at the end here it says from the prophet. This is one of the articles that say from the prophet. That's I did see Brother Clendenin Base here in Grand Sheik, and then we're gonna hear from, I see yourself, Brother Nightill. I have Brother R. Jordan Hill's hand, so we're gonna do that order. I'm gonna go to our Grand Sheik, Brother W. Clendenin Bay, and then we're gonna go to Brother Jordan Hill, and then I got you, Brother R. Nightill.
It's I'll get up to the other ones, grads. Peace.
Praise Allah, you're breaking up. I think I got you. I think you're yielding for the Moors. Islam. Brother R. Jordan Hill?
Islam. I just wanted to camel walk with the brother. He made me think about
Which
something.
brother?
Brother Joshua.
All right.
He said that there's also multivitamins for men, and there's also multivitamins for women, estrogen versus testosterone. And I started thinking about Acts 7, where he said, husband, you are to support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Those are specific prescriptions he's giving to man and woman,
Mhm.
you know, and that, you just brought that to my mind when you
So-
said that.
He gave something to the parents in the household. What did he give to the
And then he
next?
gave to the children. their
What? He
prescription.
had, what? He ain't
They
leave nobody
doses.
out. Oh,
He gave the children their doses.
uh-oh,
He
uh-oh.
said, children, children, you, what is
Sons
it?
and daughters.
Sons and daughters, you must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. So he's giving out his certain dosages and prescriptions to everybody.
And I value that. You know why? Because as you say that to me, right, it makes me think about, you know how they go truth is book one and that concept of science and things don't change. So even in the communities, right, where you notice, and this may be a very uncomfortable topic for other people, but you know, I'm sorry about the discomforts. We understand the laws of the government, right? And we understand where we live, and we do not speak radical against any members of any organized groups. And so that's, you know, I'm gonna be throwing in disclaimers every now and again, because we recording and we put it on YouTube, we put it on the internet, and then you don't want to misrepresent the prophet, the movement, or what he's about accidentally. Right? Equality and peace and love. Islam.
Islam. Islam is already given. I just wanted to share some words from the past president from piece on thoughts on government, if I could.
Of course.
Praise Allah.
That's
I want
right.
to share with Morris. I can in the chat in a second, but I believe so. This is from a document called Thoughts on Government, April 1776. And this is from the third president?
April 17, 1976 or
Or
7?
April 1776, the year.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, so you get what we're going back into constitutional Congress, and we're going back into the when the labels were placed on the slaves, and so to speak, as is described in our Constitution.
Praise Allah. So this is from the third president, John Adams. If I'm correct, he's writing it to another member of the early form of government. So I just want to read two paragraphs.
Yeah,
They're pretty
no
short.
problem.
So the opening one reads, "My dear sir, if I was equal to the task of forming a plan for the government of a colony, I should be flattered with your request and very happy to comply with it." And this is what I found really interesting.
Sorry, Brother Nightdale, I just realized, I'm sorry.
Sorry, my
We
apologies.
got you.
I can.
No, continue, go ahead, because I don't, but I'm sorry, it's my fault.
No problem. It says, "Because as the divine science of politics is the science of social happiness, and the blessings of society depend entirely on the constitutions of government, which are generally institutions that last for many generations, there can be no employment more agreeable to a benevolent mind than a research after the best." So this talking about, you know, the divine science of politics, and it's this, and that being the science of social happiness, and the blessings of society depending entirely on the constitutions of government. These blessings that we receive as citizens. So I'm gonna skip down and I'll finish here.
You said that sounds like what the prophet was speaking about as
It's
well?
but this definitely touches on it.
Amazing.
It says, this is a couple paragraphs down from the same one. It says, "All sober inquires after truth, ancient and modern, pagan and Christian, have declared that the happiness of man, as well as his dignity, consists in virtue." We can solicit people here. Again, this is John Adams. This is the past president. "Confucius, Zoroaster, Socrates, Muhammad, not to mention authorities really sacred, have agreed in this. If there is a form of government then, whose principle and foundation is virtue, will not every sober man acknowledge it better calculated to promote the general happiness than any other form?" That I say peace.
Peace. So now the brother just found things related to the Constitution in and of itself, or the formulating of it. That's John Quincy Adams, you know. And so if you just go back into that connection with what was just read again in Acts 6, which also Brother Skipper Bay was speaking about, Brother Serrano Bay, and then you had Brother Jordan Hill, Brother Joshua, Sister Jones Bay, even just connecting in, not just the importance of these things, but the dosages and the remedies, and how to properly give yourself, I guess, that mental fortitude to truly be able to process what needs to be done. But there's a mental and spiritual fortitude that needs to be had when you're facing things and you start to learn about the different forms of oppression that your people are facing. And then you start to see how deeply woven certain things are in our society And so now there's an aspect of waking up, like, where you're like ego driven, going to search. And then there's a part where you might find yourself frustrated at the conditions. And there's a time where if you that mental and spiritual fortitude isn't there, that you'll find yourself back on the highways and the byways, like, oh man, forget it. We can't do nothing anyway. Nobody's doing nothing. I'm over it. You get what I'm saying? And if you're not careful to look for the true growth and progress that we have already had, you'll get discouraged. What do I mean by true growth and progress? I don't mean to get comfortable, like, we got a little something together. Good, let's R&R. No, rights and responsibilities, right? Let's do that new one, rights and responsibilities. And so, the Islam, Brother Naidel, thank you. Is that you?
Islam.
Islam, thank you for your patience.
I rise to give praise to Allah. I love giving honor to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Here now, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, here now, we the people establish justice. Here now, we the people ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessing of liberty. Here now, I'm not your nigga. Here now, I'm a thought of Allah. I'm a spirit of the wind, the fire, the water. Here now, let's form this perfect union, and do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Please. When you talk about the Constitution, read it for the people, because a prophet went to the people with their document. And if you know what a member is, you know that you are people now. You're not a nigga. You're not 3/4 of a man. God damn it, it's right there. Just be a member.
Oh, Brother Naidel, you fired up more, but we can't use profanity and the Bible before, but I'm with you. That's right.
And do you want to teach it? And don't read it first. Just if you're going to teach that thing, read it first, and I'll get with you. Peace. Let somebody else go.
Peace.
Drop the mic.
So you dropped the mic on us, you took the tassel, the whole way, you got the Constitution out and read from the Constitution, and he let us know. But you see, this is what I was just saying a second ago, right? Once you see the conditions of your people, and you have race pride and love your race, and you've been on the race for a long time, and you know with the strength and capabilities of your people that more could be done, or you might even be looking for more right now, you feeling like you're getting failed, there's a frustration that could come about. When you look at it, you feel like people playing with it instead of handling what they need to do and handle business. You can get frustrated. So I thank you, dear brother, for also sharing your thoughts. I see Brother Clinton came on Islam Grand Sheikh.
Islam, I apologize if you apologize, but it ain't about profanity. The words is not about
brother Naidel.
I apologize. But we talk about our prophet, and we talk about the Constitution, and he says to teach certain things. Please, it must be read. The Constitution must be read. Is in our laws. We got 6 acts.
Islam, peace be still, bro.
He was already muted, but you didn't have to. You could have given. I'm gonna let Brother Clinton innovate speak, but I think sometimes it's important to kind of let some of your brothers digress or degress or decompress, whatever the case may be, within bounds. But I guess and I didn't feel no kind of way about the Brother Naidel. I just felt like he was fired up. Probably gave you something to shout about. You know what I'm saying? So praise Allah. I saw Brother Clinton innovate.
What do you say?
Islam.
Islam.
Can you hear me, sisters?
I can hear you and we can see you. You got on the Grand Sheikh AG, what? NC, Assistant Grand National Chairman Glad. Let's go. Come on, we ready.
Where's Brother Naidel?
He right there in the camera. He ready. He right there with us.
I'm right here with you, doctor.
All right. So we all have certain things we understand, like it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? And we're trying to be professionals, right? So the prophet says when we go to those that know law, that we speak in an intelligent tone. And like Sister Sealsville said, because we sitting here in the family setting, let's not forget what the actual setting is a divine setting.
Right.
I might be in my car, but we got the charter up and we're broadcasting from the temple. And so all of the beautiful thoughts that we say, we don't want them to be influenced by how we say them. So let's just be mindful of that, because if we have to go to speak to those that know law and in this
We shouldn't have
government,
no problem.
I know I wouldn't have no problem with you, and I know you understand what I'm saying.
I'm silent, more. I'm silent. I'm silent. I put both my hands up. I'm silent, more. I'm silent.
Right. I'm with you. I'm with you. We're all passionate, and we all appreciate that. And the Moors could feel you and feel all of us. But that's why we're all here to sharpen each other, so that at the end of the day, that beautiful message that you brought forth will be brought forth in the same tone that you want to represent your prophet. And that was so key about the prophet. He said so many things in a noble way. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't racist, but he was racial. You know, he wasn't trying to make you feel a certain way, but he was telling you the truth. You know, and so that's what I try to imitate that, and I appreciate all the comments. You know, and we just want to be a good example for those young brothers and sisters, because some don't have they don't have the understanding of how to talk when we're amongst ourselves, how to talk when you're at your job, how to talk when you're different places. So we want to always give them that, because, you know, we take for granted that people know the things that we know. A lot of people hasn't been endowed and educated by the universe the way we have. So when we talk about citizens, and Brother Nightingale, when he mentioned that whole thing about ingenious citizens, we know that the government is made up of the citizens. And if you have people in the government that are not genius and don't know what they're doing, and don't even take no civics classes and don't have no understanding of the Constitution like the brother read and other different things, then they make decisions that and have no morals. Because what did Brother Smithiel just read? He read it was so beautiful. They talking about a divine relationship within the government. And then if you put people in there that don't have the morals, like the prophet says, he's gonna leave the Europeans here long enough for us to learn how to run a government. But we have to have the moral fortitude and have the connection to the divine in order to do it properly. So praise Allah. Thank all the Moors. Peace.
Peace. And just one last thing. I appreciate you, Brother Nightingale. There was no, and I don't want you to be quiet. I want you to speak. You have a wealth of information and experience and knowledge to share with the Moors. And we can appreciate you on it. So I don't want you to feel like, you know, there was a point, did Brother Kadidibay mention it on Friday when he met Sister Steelville and I ran down on him in the back room? No, it's all right. We know, okay? We understand, all right? We here for you. You're our brother. And I appreciate you. And just for the record, that was Brother Skipper Bay, Brother Kadidibay, that read from page number 7 in that portion about genius citizen. It's just 1 second. I saw 2 hands. I see Islam. I just want to give our brother chairman came in straight from work, ready to go. Praise Allah. Islam there, brother chairman. I see Sister E. Jones Bay. I see Brother Skipper Bay, and I see Brother El Serrano Bay. So I'm gonna go with Brother El Serrano Bay. I'm gonna go with our Sheik, Brother Sheik and Divine Minister, Brother Skipper Bay, and then I'm gonna go with our Sister E. Jones Bay. Islam.
Islam, Assistant Grand Sheik is the comment that I want to make. I want to wait until secretary time, but I just wanted the acknowledgement ahead of time. So I'm gonna wait for secretary time, Sister Peace.
You please make sure you remind me there, brother. You know what I'm saying? All right now. Islam, Brother Skipper Bay, Islam, Brother Sheik. Islam. Thank you. Hold on 1 second. We got to bring the mic back there because we want the Moors to be able to hear you on the Zoom. I know what it's like when I'm on Zoom. I'll bring it up to at least here. And I think they can still, if you want to come up, you can. How you want that there, brother?
It's one of the things is that during the time of those more genius citizens, those genius citizens were prepared by our forefathers. That's the whole point. They were prepared by our forefathers in England and other countries as well. When they came together and came up to this side, they were well prepared with the teachings that they got from our forefathers. And that their constitutions that they set up was based on the freedom and liberty of all people. What happened was that what the prophet said, when we go back, there came a point in time where it says, the time has come when every nation must worship under their own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess its own. Through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honor not the principles of their forefathers. That is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774. Okay, this was before the 1776.
But it's
It's
before
fine.
Act
It's
6
fine.
statement and the labels. That's right.
Right.
Think-
1774, and the word Negro, Black, and Colored was given to the Asiatics of America, who was of Moorish descent, because they honor not the principles of their mother and father and strayed after the gods of Europe. And at that time, there was a lot of Moors at that time that were straying after the gods of Europe and amalgamating the laws and principles just to, and it put all of us in bond. Like if you have Benjamin Banneker, you know who Benjamin Banneker is, right? All right, Benjamin Banneker was a mathematician, astrologer, and so on, who helped lay down the law of government. But he gave up a lot of the principles given to the forefathers, that the forefathers had given them, to be put into history books and have his name recorded. So he went after the gods of Europe, even though he helped lay down the foundation of government. Okay, so we're talking about what was going on back then has a lot to do with what the prophet is saying. Okay, and that's what we gotta understand. We got to get into what was really happening and what was going on to understand this own vine, that every nation must worship under its own vine and fig tree, goes back before the Constitution.
Of course, that's a fact, yes.
And the Constitution is based on that
Yeah.
particular principle of own vine and fig tree.
That's right.
Even George Washington related to own vine and fig tree. Okay, they believed in that as well. So when they were in battle, our divine and fig tree, right, was chopped down.
The cherry tree, there you go, that's right.
Yeah, our divine and fig tree was chopped down. You can read about it in the proverbial cherry tree story and whatnot. And we were put and sanctioned into this slavery because of our own violations of our forefathers and what they believed in, and accepted these European customs and traditions. Peace.
I appreciate you, dear brother. Peace. For the more that don't learn where he's reading from chapter number 47, found on page 49. He read from instructions 15 through 17, and he was making that clear connection specifically on page 59, instruction 17, 1774, note the date. But then in act number 6, if you note the date, it talked about the actual labels were labeled as 1779. And so he was pointing to the connection for the dates, the times, and understanding where some of the origins of this is important to it. It's not just connected to the Constitution, as we understand has been developed now within the United States of America, but there are principles that are connected to our ancient forefathers and their divine prophets and teachings that they had from the great God Allah at that time. I also, when we communicate from here, just to be clear, so when I communicate from here, I'm going to be communicating at the starting point within our present time, something that we're coming together on a mutual point. Some things I will not start with because it's controversial, right? Because some may not even come in recognizing the Constitution or the government at all. So it has to always start from the basis of the prophet when you speak it from the podium. Has to bring it from that basis point, even though we understand that there's a national constitution. Because it's, you know, if you understand the national constitution, we also understand that different governments have different ways of operating. But when we're coming in here, the one unifying factor amongst all Moorish Americans, Moorish-Americans, is the prophet. And so these are those unifying starting points. I want to thank you, dear brother, for your connection and also for your thought. I see your hand, Brother Salemu Bey, but I got to go to Sister E. Jones Bey. She had her hand. It's on this.
I'm gonna try to keep it real short. I'm sat and listen for the time and just give a portion. We have a lot of extra, literature that our brothers write, so the Hafiz has wrote many different, books about the history of our organization.
That's right.
We know that the Prophet started his organization in 1913, to take a quick second. So remember that in 1913, we were still segregated. We were not amalgamating, which is, again, I want for my children, just the definition of amalgamate is to combine or unite to form one organizational structure. So to me, that is where we get the name for unity, because we don't want to become one organization, we already have our own. One of the things that I wanted to go into first was the Moorish literature on page 6. Says they have to claim their own free national name and religion. There's but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and of the earth, and it comes only through the connection of the Moorish divine national movement, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all other nations of the world. And the reason why I wanted to read that first is because, from my understanding, if I'm not correct, please let me be corrected at a later date. That at first it was a civic organization, that the Prophet started this as a civic organization, and because of the issues, it was later on changed into a religious organization. And then I heard Brother Knight speak, if we go and talk about the Constitution, to read the Constitution. So, of course, I'm very constitutional in nature because, again, I homeschool my children, so these things have to be taught. What brings us into the Constitution fold? Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Then we want to go to our authority, which is what is filed in Cook County, Illinois, that gives us the right, that also accompanies this charter. Where
can we find that there, sister?
On the back.
Go ahead, teach, sister, teach.
On the back of.
I like it like that.
On the back of the questionnaire.
Praise Allah.
On the back of the questionnaire, I want to go down to right after the Prophet puts where it's recorded, his name is there. Then it says, the 20th day of July, 1928, for the purpose of the following person to appoint a sheep. According to the rules and usages of the Moorish Science Temple of America, you solemnly swear at the meeting of the members of Noble Drawley, Mary Hill, Small Bay, Lover Bay, and Former Bay, the Moorish Science Temple of America, deriving its power and authority from the great Quran of Muhammad, again, religion, Islam, Islamism, to propagate the faith and extend the learning of the great Prophet Ali in America, to appoint and prosecute missionaries. I want to stop at the missionaries portion. Because the missionary, by definition, a missionary is a member. Remember that the best station you could have is a faithful member of a religious group that is sent into an area in order to promote its faith or provide services to people such as education, literacy, social justice, healthcare, and economic development. Then I wanna go to page 39. The Holy Koran and Moorish Science Temple of America. 37 symbols, divine prepared by the most prophet Ali, by the God of his Father God Allah, great God of the universe, and redeemed man from the sexual and fallen state of humanity, back to the highest human rank of his Father God Allah. I'm gonna read from chapter 30 on page 39. Holy instruction for the prophet's social duties. Instruction 1, when thou considerest thy wants, when thou beholdest thy imperfections, acknowledge his goodness, O son of humanity, who honored thee with humanity, endowed thee with speech, and placed thee in society to receive and prefer reciprocal help and mutual obligation, protection from injury, thy enjoyment of the comforts and pleasures of life. All these thou owest to the assistance of others, and couldst not enjoy but in the bands of society. It is thy duty, therefore, to be a friend to mankind, as it is thy interest that man should be friendly to thee. And then John F. Kennedy also said, if everybody knows, ask not what you could do for you, ask not what your country could do for you, but ask what you could do for your country. So when the prophet, just to square it all off, we have the charter, which is something that is given by the government to do what you saying you're gonna do. As long as you do what you say you're gonna do, you keep that charter. And the First Amendment gives us the right to practice religion without molestation at all, and our charter says this is what we're doing and this is what we're a part of. And then when we all come together and do this, have these communications, interact with each other, we're now upholding not only what the prophet board, but we explain that unity. But we take it outside and then we give it to those who don't know they're not Negro, Black, and colored. And if you quality of character, if you live according to those 5 principles, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, no matter what those laws say, your character is gonna speak. Your character is gonna say, whatever you're doing at the end of the day, because guess what? Our religion goes with us everywhere. It does not matter if we're doing something socially, because when we go out there with the hand thrust with the government of the United States of America, we follow those laws that we're also applying chapter 30. Keeping us within those bounds of righteousness. With that, I think.
So praise Allah. Our sister went
Praise
to
Allah.
our literature, both on the back of our questionnaire. Utilize a portion of the Constitution to substantiate the point that we are able to practice and promote Islamism in America without molestation. And despite the laws and the things that Moors are kind of concerned about, the changes and the things I was speaking about, we are still protected under what the prophet has done with relation to the charter and tying it back into the Constitution. And so with certain concerns or some particulars and whether or not, the concept, even the said government, certain things related to those things, he's letting you know that you are protected within your divine right underneath what he's incorporated through the charter. And my sister was able to tie that all back in and also connect it into our social duties, noting that at a point, the Prophet's organization, 1925, was it a civic organization? And then it was changed in 1926 to a religious organization. But what date was it? One was August, Islam? Islam? Oh, you could just drop it out there for us, Brother Chairman. You ready to drop the high science? You gonna drop it?
Drop the words.
Islam.
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 Islam, Brother I. Smith, you.
Praise Allah. Thank you, sister.
You're welcome, dear brother.
It's going to be in the Moorish literature on page 18, Moorish leaders' historical message to America. This will be the 3rd paragraph. It reads, we organized as the Moorish Temple of Science in the year of 1925, and were legally incorporated as a civic organization under the laws of the state of Illinois. November 29, 1926, the name Moorish Temple of Science was changed to the Moorish Science Temple of America, May 1928, in accordance with the legal requirements of the Secretary of the State of Illinois. Peace.
So thank you again. So now just a note, right? Those different changes that were made to adjust to those times and just going back into those stages as to what's needed and how to properly disseminate it to the people within the time frame and what they need. I think it's very important to note that there are different learning styles. There are different teaching styles. So there are gonna be different ways in which Moors are gonna be able to appreciate it. But as long as you have your principles, respect never goes out the window. Whether you hear something you think you don't like, something you think is not Islam, you are to be standing on your square at all points in time. And that doesn't mean that anybody's pulling anybody's weeds, because that's not what we're here for. Anytime we communicate to one another, I want to make sure that we do it in love and respect and understanding. No one person is better than the other. I love it when the prophet talks about courtesans and thieves. He said, these are my children too. All right, now cut it out. Why? Because it brings it back around full circle to let you know that as long as that spirit of Allah dwells within, how dare you call yourself greater? How dare you look down on the next? So just that concept of connection, appreciation, listening, learning, studying, and appreciating your teaching styles and your own learning styles. Study yourself. See how you learn the best. How you learn the best, you might be surprised. Once you learn how you learn the best, you'll also learn how you teach the best. Because there's a parent essentially in everyone. And with that, as a parent, you are always a teacher. Each one of you are priests unto yourselves. So I just wanted to thank the Moors for their time, for their participation. I see you here, Brother Salemi Bay. It's at 3:38. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to go any further out of law. I was just talking about timing. You know, we ain't Negroes, Black people, colored Ethiopians. So at this time, I'm gonna call on our brother chairman so that he can close us out. He's gonna do the warning as well as the secretary's time. I thank you all for participation as well.
Color people talk?
No color people time, that's right. None of those, those so-called, none of those. All right now. What you did that?
Islam.
Islam.
First I rise and give praise to Allah and honor to the Prophet. Give honor to everything pertaining to Islam. Give honor to everyone who participated in the class, and give honor to all those who participated in this class. Praise Allah. At this time, I read the warning. Divine warning by the Prophet Noble Duali. Prophet warns all Muslims, governors, quarterly proclamation at these meetings. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards of your opinions, it causes confusion. Remember your call is for your salvation. Fail to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We have to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet, who violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid up to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turbans and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the Prophet Noble Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting the prophet and the temple. It's an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah, redeeming his people from their sinful ways. By order of Prophet Noble Ali. Peace. Praise Allah, man.
Praise Allah.
Somebody be the bastard. Be dead.
I got a flat, you gonna pass it to the youth to go call them out.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, we're gonna call them out. They ready. They ready. You see what I'm saying? They like, you got the flat.
Praise Allah, boy.
How you feel about it? You ain't got it, no pressure. Pressure, no burden.
Relax. That's right.
Can't burden our little more either.
Sister Jade, Jordan Neal, you have announcement for the boards?
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. Praise and honor is already given. Happy Sunday, Moors. I'm
Happy
gonna
Sunday.
just praise Allah. I'm going to just give some brief announcements and reminders. The Cash App for the temple, if you'd like to pay your dues or make donations, it's the $MSTA34. That's $MSTA34. You can pay your dues or make donations through Cash App if you cannot make it in person. Additionally, if you want to make donations specifically, you can make a mention in the note column where you'd like the donations to go towards. A reminder that Friday is our holy day for all Muslims all over the world, and that the holiday meetings are held from 7:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Fridays. You can join us on Sunday school, which is on Sundays, from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. Please join us on Thursdays, every Thursday, for our weekly conference call. It's facilitated by our Grand Sheikh, Brother W. Clendenin Bey, and we do so by conference call. Again, this is every Thursday. The information is sent out by text thread as well as by on Facebook. You can join us on Facebook. We have a group chat. We have in several pages, private and public, where you can get more information about Moorish Science Temple number 34. Please join us every morning at 5 a.m. Their time for Temple 75. It's 6 a.m. our time. Please join us on Zoom for our Moorish Holy Month Quran reading. That's been running from January 18th and will continue until February 16th. That is, I believe, Friday. So this is your last couple of days to join in. The call starts with a prayer, reading of a few of the instructions or chapters, and then they conclude with a prayer. It's very quick, so please log on timely so that you can participate. A reminder that our Sheikh training is held every third Tuesday of each month. The first one we held in January, and that went very well. It's held at 8 p.m. and the upcoming one is February 20th, 2024. That's next week, not this upcoming week, but the following. And we will again keep you all posted with this, so you'll be reminded. If you're interested in taking the Sheikh training course, please let your Grand Sheikh know, Brother W. Clendenin Bey, or if you're there and you in a temple and you have questions about it, you can speak to the Assistant Grand Sheikh or the Chairman, who is available. You can also send an email to the Moorish Science Temple. To our email is moorishsciencetemple.no.34@gmail.com. I also wanted to let you know that we'll be sending out information about Tag Day, which is coming up in March. So stay tuned. And lastly, as you heard, we would like to have our civics class. We'll be holding that at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. That's 8 o'clock on Wednesday, which is the third Wednesday of the month. If you have any questions, please check with your Assistant Grand Sheikh, who is present, your Chairman, who's also present. If you have any other questions, you can also ask your Sheikhs, and we'll be sure to get you the contact information. We will be holding that on Zoom. And again, it will be at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. With that, I say peace.
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 Brother Salim Obey.
Islam, Moorish American.
Islam, boy.
Islam. First I rise giving praise to Allah, the great God of the universe. Honors to our holy and divine Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all that spoke before me as well. Honors to you, Chairman. Honors to Assistant Grand Sheikhs and all that was given honors to by the Chairman and our acting, we could say conductor, we could say our Assistant Grand Sheikhs and all Moorish American Muslims. Peace and love. Peace. You know, I did have a statement. However, I just wanted to, I have a thought now where it's like the Prophet gave us certain lessons, right? And our lessons in a small pamphlet. And I always wondered, the Prophet was more like, he was a mover, a shaker. And when you read when you read the things that the Prophet laid down, it was really, the writing was really on a high level, and it had many different meanings, Islam. So When we think it means one thing, it's worthy to be studied the same way scriptures are studied from Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, the same way there's councils on it. And, ones are striving to get a perfect understanding of what was laid down. It's the same exact thing with our lessons. That's why we have the Moors that exercise our five senses, and we're able to draw it out because the truth is within. It does not change or pass away. So, my other statement will most likely be the next time we broach that subject. Islam Moors.
It's on, brother Serrano Bay.
Islam.
It's on.
Praise Allah. Praise and honor is already given. More science temple number 34. We feel that everyone's voice is important to us. Everyone's participation is important to us. And so we have a format. If anyone has any discrepancies or any problems with anything, we are taught that if you're in a meeting, the meeting is going on, you speak to the mufti at the back door. The mufti at the back door speaks to the grand sheikh. If it's before a meeting, you speak directly to the grand sheikh. If it's after the meeting, you speak directly to the grand sheikh. And so we want everyone to know and understand and feel that their voices are important. How you see things is important. And so if you have any discrepancy or any problem, regardless as to what it is, whether it's with an individual, whether it's how somebody sees something, whether it's you feel like someone's not doing something the right way, whatever it is, you speak to your grand sheikh, and we make sure that we don't speak from the floor, right? Because we have what is referred to as town hall meetings. Town hall meetings have a specific and particular way in which they address problems and address people and things. And so we have our Friday Holy Day service, which is for Holy Day. It's our Holy Day meeting to talk about the Quran, read the Quran. We have our ministers read the Quran. Sunday school, the Sunday school instructor must confirm himself to the questionnaire that every member exercises 5 senses who's able to do so. This is question and answer, period. You have any questions about the Moorish Science of America? You want to try to gain more information to build your understanding, whether it's a particular instruction or a certain way understanding of a particular question that the Prophet asked us. And so we want to be mindful that we're not, when something bothers us, that we don't end up bleeding in the meeting and bleeding all over people in the meeting. And so I just wanted to call that as a brother, as a remembrance to that aid, that there is a way that we conduct ourselves during the meeting. And this is even for myself, right? It's a reminder to myself also. Sometimes I might hear something and they might rub me the wrong way. The last thing I should do is try to raise my hand to speak, because where I'm coming from, the way that my mental is might not be the best time for me to voice my opinion. So sometimes we got to be patient with ourselves, be patient with our brothers and sisters, understand that not everybody is on this at the same pace on the path. We're all on the path, but some of us may be a little further than others, and some of us may be a little further behind than others. But we have to have patience for each other. And then this again, and I want to put emphasis on this. Speak to your grand sheikh if you have a problem. Peace.
Yeah.
That's fine. And I appreciate. I just want to say thank you for that, brother Savannah. I don't want anyone to feel like any kind of a singling out, right? So just so if you knew, if we were on the phone and there was something you were calling and there was something you were stressed out about, and you happen to drop a lot of things that in emojis, or in text language would have asterisks and question marks, those kind of. It's all right if you're talking to me, you call me on the phone and you need an ear. You understand? I want you to know that it's not a judgmental concept, right? When you're in a certain place in the space. I said it specifically because we're recording. Our meetings are recorded. We have a charter up, and there's certain things that hold to that. We want to also share this with the prison ministry, and depending on certain things and how things may be communicated, they may not want to receive it. We don't want your beautiful thoughts wisdom and that gift of the understanding, because there's no doubt that you have these gifts. Because the law already appointed to everyone. It's already in there. Everyone has the gift. Whether anyone else can recognize it, that's not your problem. Don't worry about that. Because you all have the gift and it's already in there. Prophet made that clear. And so I value your gifts and I want you to be able to continue to express yourselves and continue to unfold as the bud unfolds to show the flower. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's at a different pace, just like the brother said. And I value where you all are along the way. Because believe it or not, got family from every different kind of walk of life. We got from corporate to the corner. Okay, so I'm just saying, I appreciate you all and what you bring with yourself, faith.
Hey.
Brother, please. Oh, no, I just want to make a quick comment.
Praise God.
Praise and honor is already given. Brother Skipper Bay was touching on the paragraph. Egypt, the capital empire of the dominion of Africa, chapter number 47. And he was reading instructions 15 through 17. Instruction 17, where it says, this is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774. And the word Negro, black, and colored was given to the Asiatics of America who were of Moorish descent, because they honored not the principles of their mother and father. And that got me to thinking that it's sort of like the movie Roots. They had to make Kunta say his name is Toby first. He had to give up his nationality. And he had to accept the fact that now he's black. And then he could become a slave. Because the prophet tells us that in 1770, that slavery, that the names that were given to us, I read it verbatim, so
Hear about Cherry, he's like, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Save the prophet said.
That's right.
And know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, and Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. So they had to strip us of our nationality, our heritage, and then it made us slaves. And that's how, it was more, I guess, easier for us to accept being a slave, because we forgot who we were. Because if we knew who we were and where we came from, we'd be staying on business. And we wouldn't let that happen to us. Like Kunta said, he took a lot of lashes before he finally came in. But we got to get back to that fortitude where no lashes can stop us.
That's right.
With that, I say peace. Can you turn the bank?
It is long. It's long. See, I appreciate Sister Jones' big response
Oh, yeah.
in the whole demonstration. And the Kevin Walker, their brother, sister, treasurer. It's a lot with that, right? Because they got the definition of black, but they don't have the characteristic definition of the people that's called black. Right?
Right.
And that's a whole book about it, right? Because you got the so-called Negro and black person that was in the field, and then you got the one who was called housemen, right? The ones that would sell your brothers off or steal their ideas, or just individual that's in their lower self so much because of the type of individuals they're around. They're more closer with the so-called slave master, so their principles are a little different. The way they view things are a little different. You understand? They see you steal a morsel, they don't know you ain't got no food in your house. They just see you steal a morsel, they running to tell their so-called master, such and such just stole a chicken wing. A biscuit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's those type people,
Right.
Personally, those are the ones I like to stay away from. That characteristic and all is like the real individual, man. It fires up a real anger in me. I'm trying to work with it, but it's not easy. But so Kevin Walker with the assistant Grand Sheikahs about the black codes, right? So these Christian black codes, they were vicious, right? But it's particular, and I love the prophet because when I started reading the Christian black codes, it said everything that we was and that what we couldn't do. We couldn't pray and try prostration.
Right.
We couldn't have a mosque. We couldn't be mosque. These words are actually in some of the Christian black codes in the South, and even in the ones of New York. With that, I say peace.
Peace.
I just also wanted to tell them what I realized Jordan didn't even say anything. They just here busting it out, holding it down, but I just want to send out a good thought. I know that the children had fallen a little bit under the weather. Nothing major in the sense of like, you know, everybody's got to rush to a hospital in that way, but just to keep out a positive thought. You know, the seasons change, children get, you know, and then the parents end up, you know, because they're there holding it down while the baby's on anyway. So just a thought, just sending out that positive thought and giving honor to all the more. And with that, I say keep.
Peace. Islam. I just want to say that, I know we're on Zoom, but Zoom, when you're on Zoom, it's just like being in a temple. And you wait to be recognized. You don't blur it out. It's not, we don't do that in the temple. Like, I think the grand she did that demonstrated etiquette of being on Zoom, and I think we should take heed to that. I know sometimes we cannot hold our tongue, but we gotta hold it. We gotta hold it. And it's very important that we do that. Because like I said, we set an example. And like I said, this gonna be recorded and we're going in, like I said, we're going into the prison. We want to make sure that we give you the proper words. You know, sure, we don't see things from different point of view and everything else, but like I said, just make sure it's in conjunction. The system did a wonderful job of putting all the pieces together from the prophet. There's no word with the prophet words. See, and I think that's very important. We don't step on a person because of his idea or whatever. Yeah, you can express your thoughts. You can express your thoughts. Because this is what Sunday school is all about. Brother Jordan.
I just want to point out, Sister Jordan L. had a hand up.
Okay, praise the Lord. Sister J. Jordan Hill, just let me know who's out there.
Islam, just
Islam, sis.
Islam chairman, praise Allah. I just also wanted to give honors to our sister in Grand Sheikhs for making time out of her schedule to be present. I also wanted to recognize that just, 7 days ago or so, she was, had the funeral service for her mother. And so I wanted to give honor to her for that and just put the reminder out there about the deeper appreciation for our sisters, for womanhood, and what it comes with. And just speaking as a mother and as a sister, we have so much on our plate, so much going on in our lives. And so I just wanted to thank her for making it there, giving the Grand Sheik an opportunity to spend time taking care of his own, business, his personal business. And while he's also attending the meeting, so honors to him as well for doing that and just recognizing the importance of family and family time and putting in that Act 6 demonstration, but also being able to uphold your responsibilities to the temple at the same time as well. So I just wanted to be able to give honor to that, to all of the Moors and the sheikhs and the sheikhesses who are doing that, who are attending, even when they're not feeling well or their family is not well. They're pushing through the weather and keeping the doors open in snowstorms and blizzards. And so I want to give honor to that, especially, we have Brother Serrano Bey, who is, many times he's at work and he's online at the same time. So it reminds us that, if possible, Moors, let's strive to keep our principles in the forefront, even let it just run as a ribbon throughout our day and our life to become a part, whether we're at school or at work or at home, to keep tuned in as possible and see how you can help, because we definitely need help and there's work enough for all to do. So honors to all of those who are doing the work, honors to our Grand Sheik, who is still, being able to do both things and also get those coins, and honors to the assistant Grand Chicas for maintaining this and everything else that she's doing, as well as to our chairman, who is always pushing forth and making it in as much as he can. So with that, I just wanted to say peace.
Peace. I just wanted, before I call on the secretary, I just want to read where the brothers stop off with the Smithy talk to read in the Moorish literature on page 19. The object of our organization is to help in the great program of uplifting fallen humanity and teach those things necessary to make our members
they're the citizen. A national organization which will chairing confection as it relates to a branch temple became obvious with the increased members of inquiry from men and women in different sections of the country concerning the purpose of the organization. There are branch temples in 15 different states at this time. Since the work of the Morris Science Temple of America was largely religious, the organization was changed to a religious corporation, and an affidavit to the effect has been properly filed in the county, in the Cook County Recording Office in Illinois. So this is our program.
Right. It's a great
It's a
program.
great program of public reform. And you talking about missionary work, or, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that we have to adhere to as much as we can. You know, we want, because this is we all building this. We can't do it alone. That's one thing we know. We cannot do it by ourselves. Because every living thing is bound by a cord to every other living thing. And praise the Lord that we moving on the energy with the prophet, because like I'm saying, you get caught up in the energy outside. You don't know where it'll take you. You know what I'm saying? That vibration, man, you gotta hold on to that vibration, that high vibration. Keep it high. You know, when they go low, you stay high. You know, it's a battle that we have to fight. Man, the student falls and things get mixed. Man gotta fight them foes. But he also got the tools. I think the sister read the tools on Friday about using those tools and worship of the mind. And we gotta apply it to ourselves. Because the secret of the law, let man and wisdom apply to himself, not nobody else. Don't take this and beat nobody down. That's not what the lesson is for.
That's right.
Apply it to yourself.
That's
You
right.
gotta take the medicine first before you can give it to somebody else.
That's right.
You know what the effects are,
That's right.
you know how to deal with it.
That's right.
Praise the Lord.
Yes,
This time I'd like to call our Assistant Secretary as you read today's financial report.
Islam,
Islam.
Morris Science Temple of America, Temple number 34, finance received for February 11, 2024. They received a public collection of $7. Morris Remedies received $12. Travel Fund received $5. Local Building Fund $10, coming up to a grand total of $34 even, and a total attendance in person and on Zoom of 27. These.
Praise the Lord. Brother, you been here before? Okay, all right, just want to make sure.
You told the brother chairman your name, but you got your name.
Yeah, right, yeah, all right.
You supposed to refresh your name, just refresh
Just
your
want to
name.
make sure.
Islam.
It's on?
Yes.
Islam.
It's on, Grant.
Islam double sevens. How are you, sir?
I'm great, praise the Lord, Lord do the praise.
Yeah, I know the sister made some announcements. I was in and out, but I don't know if she announced today's the Grand Sheik Brother Jones Bay's birthday. So praise Allah.
Praise the Lord, so give him a shout out. You heard the reading of the financial report, what's the one that says it in there? Sister E. Johnson.
I move that the financial report be accepted with any corrections or amendments.
Can I get a second? It's on, Sister. Man, she gets.
Islam, I second that motion.
It was moved by Sister Sister E. Jones, very second by Sister C. Ozil, that the financial report be accepted with necessary correction. You heard the motion, are you ready for the question?
Question.
All in favor of this motion, show by the most way vote. There is a law. So for note that the motion has been carried. You have to hand up, Brother Glancy.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Gary.
He's acknowledging the motion.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Is there anything else, Grand Sheik?
No, just praise Allah. Sister did a beautiful job. All the Moors, we're all just striving. You know, I was just thinking real quick. This is a divine and national movement. You know, and Temple 34 is a national and divine movement. We're a part of this movement. You know, and we're moving. Praise be to Allah. And the elder Moors just say, if you're ready, stay ready. If you're not ready, get ready.
Yeah, we all want to build this together. I'm saying we can't do by ourselves. each and every one of us, like the sister was talking about, each and every one of us got a gift that we can bring. You know, and we can help each other grow and develop. To find something, bring it in. That's what I'm saying. Let us examine it. Let's look at it. To make sure you tie it into what the prophet is saying. That's the most important thing. Maybe you want to make us better. We are the ones that are the true American citizens. We are the true American citizens. You know, we want to make sure we stand firm on that. A lot of Moors, our brothers, this guy. You know what I'm saying? Use them, you know, they don't want to recognize their American flag. The public can't put you in the government. We want to take you out of the government. You put us in the government. We want us to elbow to get this calm. 76 movement, and we talk about this is an everlasting, this is a divine movement, an everlasting movement. This is the energy that we want to make sure that we have the information, the instructions. You use the proper words. You know, just tie it in. Let's make it so we can fall from. Please, just stay here.
That's and Morris, I just hope you know that we weren't gonna hit on a lot of topics that we might have thought about as we thought about today, because again, there is going to be a civic class.
Okay.
So this was just to get you all warmed up, so you can feel the initial rile up, so that you can prepare yourselves, take it easy on the sheiks and the Moors and the members as the civics class actually gets underway. So just kind of prepare yourselves to be ready, and then come with information. Like, this has been something that's encouraged. Come prepared with the things that you've learned, the things that you know, and come prepared and share those things with your brothers and sisters. You're gonna find some are gonna be well versed in law, some are gonna be well versed in English language, but not English related to law. Then you're gonna find some that are gonna be well versed in the spiritual unfoldment. You're gonna be finding some that are well versed in health. Where you find your gift is, hone that and support your brother and sister along the way. So with that, I say peace. Thank you, Brother Chairman, for always leading by example, by the way. You set us home, and you appreciate it.
Islam, Assistant Grand Sheikhs, Islam. Are they taking questions?
No.
Are they, yeah, no?
So we gotta see how the Moors feel in the moment. I'm gonna focus on their present concern when we get there.
Oh.
No, I'm just teasing.
I got questions.
I think give you some answers. You got brother Kate Turner Bay here and Sister Jay Jordan Hills on the line. I think the Moors are ready for you. Islam sheiks?
Islam.
Islam sheiks? Islam, you taking questions when it comes to civic class? Will there be a section open for questions? Yeah, so want to ask questions?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I feel
Islam. You will or?
I'll wait patiently. I'll get online.
Sure, I don't. Kind of stuck. I really wasn't. You said, are we taking questions now?
No, civic discussion.
Civic class.
I was just messing with you, Mo. Take it easy.
It's long. That's what I'm thinking.
It is. But I was gonna ask for a friend in the treaty, the longest standing relationship with another nation with Morocco and the United States, and this treaty of friendship and peace. I was just wondering who's who in the treaty as far as the Moorish Americans. Are we with the United States or are we with the Moroccan government? Because it's key. But I was just asking for a friend. So, maybe another time.
Aren't you with both if it's an agreement? I yield.
Kate Turner Bay.
It's long. So I think it will only apply to to the ones over here that reclaim, kind of like the sundry Moors. They wrote back to the government and they actually claimed them as the subjects of the Kingdom of Morocco. Then it would actually operate on you. Other than that, it's not. If you're not recognized by that kingdom, it really doesn't work for them. With that, I say peace.
Peace. All right, Mo. Well, I thank everyone for the contribution, physically, spiritually, financially. I pray Allah continue to guide us. I pray Allah continue to protect us. I pray Allah continue to shield us against all negative forces seen and unseen. And don't forget you out in prayer. Put a thought out there, man. You got power. All power in heaven and earth is mine. To you I give all power in heaven and earth. That's what the prophet said. I'll tell you that, all power in heaven and earth, so utilize those powers, but you want to get caught up with the force. Force is the will of Allah and His omnipotence. That's what you want to get caught up with the force, the power to use it, then it goes. But you want to get caught up with the force. So praise Allah. All rise, face the east. Keep it at 90 degrees, 45 on each side, five fingers on the left, 2 on the right. And keep the moist mercy in prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
The Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My God.
My God.
And my salvation.
And my salvation. By night
and by day.
and by day.
Through His holy prophet.
Through His holy prophet. Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen.
Praise
Praise
Allah.
Islam.
You are the children of one father, the God of four by sin, the best of one that the beast that with the Bible affected we separate the world, build a relation that bonded you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. Of thy brothers in adversity, a system of thy sisters in trouble, forsake not. Don't show the fortune that father be contributed to the support of his whole races. Take you to your own with your love to each other. That's a peace.
That was the fast.